Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. Somebody sent me this file to critique, and there's some problems because that's going to engrave just like that. And if we look real close, there's like two different colors. There's a really black. See if I can't grab it. That's black zero, and he's an engraver, I know. So I'm going to make it black, and see it's got an outline also. I'm going to take away the outline for just a second. We're not even going to use that outline because that's the problem. So what we're going to do, and for the one I'm doing it for, I set your nudge distance as usual 0. Now, to grab a item that's in, because if you try to grab this, a lot of times you're going to get the other parts. And if you will select all this, let's see what our nudge, let's see how far we need to move this. Less than 3 inches. Let's set our nudge factor on like 5. And let's grab just this and nudge it down. Now he's going to run, I'm suggesting he run this. This is all CNC'd out. And for the one I'm doing it for, I would also maybe put a hairline in red around there and leave your laser open and to test that it's in there. It's in that spot. Now, what we're going to do is get rid of this outline. Well, see, the outline's actually gone, but see, like right there, there's still some problems. So, and also, you know, the U looks lighter gray than the, look at that, that's K30, and that one is K40. So what we're going to do, we're going to nudge all these letters out of the way. The R actually has 2 sets of gray letters on top of them. So now we can select all these and take away the outline for a second. And we're going to right click on like light gray or maybe a little bit darker. Okay. So the problem was in this other outline. So now all we have to do is take this font and right click an outline and make sure it's bigger than a hairline. And that will engrave, and see the corners are now clear. And I'm going to grab it all, Control G to group it together. And then I'm going to move it over and move it back up. So for the one I'm doing it for, he's got an epilogue helix, I know, and where you could select an item. This is all he's engraving. Everything else has been cut out with a CNC. So this is really a nice piece of cake. So grab the clear, select it, and I don't have a laser hooked up to this computer, and just run that selected. Then you could realistically move it out of the way and grab all this and run it. Now you don't even have to select it because it'll do that. But so run the black like it, and I'd also group all this together. So when you move it, the black is going to go deep. Like I'm going to suggest 100 power at 50 speed. And for the one I'm doing it for, I know you got some scrap wood. I'd test it. And then I would run this at like 100 power, but only like 80 speed or 70 speed. And what it's going to, you could, you know, a lot of people are going to be going, well, you could color map it. If you color map it, it's still going to run it twice. It's not going to run them both at the same time and change speeds or power. So you're going to run it twice anyway. And then, you know, run this and this. And so that's why I'm going to say, get rid of this and run that. And then for the one I'm doing it for, I think he's got to like do 30 of these. So, you know, set your bed page is 24 by 18. And I would put this at the top corner. Now this is one of those hard situations because it doesn't have a square corner. So what we can do for just a good second, hold down the shift key and double click your rectangle tool, and it put a hard corner up there. Now, for just a second, Control G to group it. Put it up in your corner. Ungroup it. Take your corner away. So now you've got it top dead center. So the one I was doing it for, you could do center. And, but since you're doing like 30 of them, I would and they're all identical, I would strongly suggest that you put a rectangle from that node to that node and down to that node. I'm a little bit off. Well, your lines are a little bit off, or I'm a little bit off. Make sure it's a hairline. See, it's a one pointer. Go back and make it a hairline. Leave your lid open and then run that. And if, run it, from home to there and run your red dot pointer. And if it touches those lines and are even with those lines, then you should be good to go. Now, if you're going to say you're going to do 30 of them and you just got it honed in, it's ready to go. What I would suggest is to take this, and let's see, it's 6 inches tall, so 7 inches. Take this, nudge it up. Take this and nudge it up. Group these together, Control G. Then you don't have to do that every time. So run this job. And so it'll be job number 1. Well, it'll be job 2 if you tested your red dot pointer. I would test your red dot pointer on that square. And also I would test my outside. Run that job. And let's say this is job 3. Then I would literally move this out of the way and put that back. And that'll be job 4. And it'll be set for that speed and power. Then all you have to do is put a new board on there and press job 3 and job 4. Make sure there's nothing else on your laser bed. And you don't have to nudge it as far as I nudged it out of the way. I guess if you could nudge it like 5 inches and pick that clear and nudge it up just so it's off your page, because it will not engrave if it's off your page. And I would actually try it. This will look pretty cool, but I would almost actually try it on a piece of wood where it doesn't have the outline, and just run that and see what it looks like. So do a couple of tests on that wordage. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.